Maya Rodriguez stared out the window of the diplomatic ship as they moved closer to the space station. The stars looked different here, far from Earth. She had never been this far from home before. Her hands shook a little as she held her data pad. Today was the day humans would meet aliens for the first time. "Are you ready for this, Lieutenant?" Admiral Jack Morrison asked as he walked up beside her. He was a big man with gray hair and kind eyes. Maya had served under him for 3 years and trusted him completely. "I think so, sir," Maya said. "I still can't believe we're actually doing this. Meeting real aliens," the Admiral smiled. "Neither can I, but these Zephyrians seem friendly enough. All their messages have been polite and peaceful. They want to trade with us and share knowledge." Maya nodded. She had read all the reports about the Zephyrians. They were tall beings with skin that looked like colored glass. They had 6 arms and seemed very smart. Their technology was far ahead of anything humans had. Best of all, they had never fought a war with anyone. The space station, called Kepler 7, grew larger as they got closer. It was huge, much bigger than any human building. The metal gleamed in the light of the nearby star. Maya could see other ships docked there. Some looked like human ships, but others were completely different shapes. "Remember," Admiral Morrison said, "we're here to make friends. Be polite and follow my lead. This could change everything for humanity." Maya straightened her uniform and checked her equipment one more time. She carried a data pad with information about Earth's culture, history, and technology. It was her job to present this to the aliens if they asked for it. She also wore a small translator device that would help her understand the alien language. The ship docked with a soft bump. Maya felt her stomach flutter with nerves. She had trained for this moment, but nothing could really prepare someone for meeting aliens. The airlock opened and they walked into the space station. The hallways were wide and tall, built for beings much larger than humans. The walls glowed with a soft blue light. The air smelled strange, like flowers mixed with metal. "Welcome, humans," a voice said. Maya looked up and saw her first alien. The Zephyrian was 8 feet tall and thin. Its skin was pale blue and seemed to glow from inside. It had 6 arms that moved in smooth, flowing motions. Its face was longer than a human face, with large silver eyes and no nose that Maya could see. "I am Ambassador Valtar," the alien said. Its voice was musical, like singing. "We are honored to meet you." Admiral Morrison stepped forward. "I am Admiral Jack Morrison, and this is my team. We're honored to meet you too." They followed the ambassador through the station to a large meeting room. The ceiling was very high, and the walls were covered with moving pictures of alien worlds. Other Zephyrians waited inside, all tall and graceful. "Please sit," Ambassador Valtar said, gesturing to chairs that had been made specially for humans. "We have much to discuss." The meeting started well. The Zephyrians asked many questions about Earth and human society. They seemed especially interested in human art and music. Admiral Morrison answered their questions carefully, trying to present humanity in the best light. Maya listened and took notes. The translator worked perfectly, and she found herself understanding not just the words but the emotion behind them. The Zephyrians seemed genuinely excited to meet humans. "We have prepared something for you," Admiral Morrison said after an hour of talking. "Lieutenant Rodriguez has information about our culture that we would like to share." Maya stood up, holding her data pad. Her heart was beating fast, but she felt good. This was going better than anyone had hoped. "Our people have created many beautiful things," Maya said. "Music, art, stories, and poetry. We would like to share these with you." She walked toward Ambassador Veltar to hand him the data pad. The tall alien's silver eyes seemed to shine with interest. "This is most generous," the ambassador said. "In our culture, we express gratitude through touch." Maya nodded not, really understanding what he meant. She held out the data pad. The ambassador reached out with one of his lower arms. Instead of taking the data pad, his hand moved toward Maya's shoulder. In Zephyrian culture, this was a sign of respect and thanks. But Maya didn't know this. The moment the alien's hand touched her shoulder, Maya's body reacted without her permission. Years of military training kicked in like a switch being flipped. Her brain saw the unexpected touch as an attack. Time seemed to slow down. Maya spun around, her left hand grabbing the alien's arm while her right hand formed a knife edge. Her body moved with perfect precision, executing a move she had practiced thousands of times in training. Her right hand struck the side of the ambassador's neck with surgical accuracy. The sound was horrible. The alien's neck bones, which were like crystal, shattered with a noise like breaking glass. Ambassador Veltar's eyes went wide with shock and pain. His tall body crumpled to the floor like a puppet with cut strings. Maya stood frozen, her hand still in the striking position. The datapad had fallen and skittered across the floor. The room was completely silent for a moment that felt like forever. Then the screaming started. The other Zephyrians made sounds Maya had never heard before, high-pitched wails of grief and horror. Two of them dropped to their knees beside their fallen ambassador. Another pointed at Maya with trembling arms. "Murderer!" the alien shouted. "You killed him!" Maya looked down at her hands. They were shaking now. She couldn't understand what had just happened. One moment she was handing over a datapad, the next she was standing over a dead alien. "I didn't mean to," she whispered. "I didn't mean to." Admiral Morrison rushed to her side, his face white with shock. "Maya, what did you do?" "I don't know," she said. "He touched me and I just I reacted. I couldn't stop myself." The Zephyrian guards were reaching for weapons. Human security personnel were doing the same. The peaceful first contact was turning into a nightmare. "It was an accident, Admiral," Morrison shouted to the aliens. "She didn't mean to hurt him." But the damage was done. Ambassador Veltar lay still on the floor, his glowing skin already beginning to fade. The other Zephyrians stared at Maya with fear and hatred in their silver eyes. Maya realized with growing horror that she might have just started a war between two species that had never even met before. Her simple human reflexes had turned what should have been a moment of peace into a tragedy that could destroy everything. The news spread across the galaxy faster than light itself. Within 6 hours, every major alien species knew that humans had killed a Zephyrian ambassador during their first meeting. The story grew worse with each telling. Some said the humans had planned the attack. Others claimed it was the start of a human invasion. Maya sat in her small room on the ship, staring at the walls. Admiral Morrison had not put her in jail, but she could not leave. 2 guards stood outside her door, not to keep her in, but to keep angry people out. She could hear crew members talking in the hallways, their voices full of fear and anger. "How could this happen?" she heard someone say. "We were supposed to make friends, not start a war." Maya buried her face in her hands. She had watched the security video 50 times. Each time she saw the same thing. The ambassador reached out to touch her shoulder in friendship. Her body moved without her permission. Her hand struck his neck with deadly force. The whole thing took less than 2 seconds. She knew the move well. It was called a knife hand strike, designed to hit nerve clusters and break bones. Her instructors had taught her that it could kill a human if done correctly. She had never thought about what it might do to an alien whose bones were like glass. A knock came at her door. "Maya, it's Admiral Morrison. May I come in?" She opened the door and let him enter. He looked older than he had that morning, his face lined with worry. Behind him stood Dr. Elizabeth Kane, the ship's doctor and psychologist. "How are you holding up?" the Admiral asked. "I keep thinking about his eyes," Maya said. "The way he looked at me when it happened, he was so surprised. He didn't understand why I hurt him." Dr. Kane sat down beside her. "Maya, you need to understand something. What you did was not your fault. It was an automatic response. Your brain thought you were being attacked." "But I wasn't being attacked," Maya said. "He was just trying to be friendly." "Your brain didn't know that," Dr. Kane explained. "Humans evolved to survive. When something unexpected touches us, especially from behind or the side, our bodies react to protect us. It's built into our nervous system." Admiral Morrison pulled up a chair. I've been talking to the Zephyrian leadership. They single quotes upset. They want us to hand you over for trial. Maya's stomach dropped. What did you tell them? I told them we need to talk about this. I tried to explain that it was an accident, but they don't understand. In their culture, they touch each other all the time to communicate. They can't imagine hurting someone by accident. What happens now? Maya asked. The Zephyrian Empire has given us 3 days to surrender you, Admiral Morrison said. If we don't, they consider it an act of war. Maya stood up quickly. Then give me to them. I won't let my mistake start a war. Sit down, Lieutenant, Admiral Morrison said firmly. We're not giving up on you. Dr. Kane has been researching human reflexes. She thinks we can make the Zephyrians understand. Dr. Kane nodded. I've been studying the video and comparing it to other species' behavior. Most aliens don't have reflexes like ours. They evolved from plant eaters or peaceful creatures. They think before they act, even in dangerous situations. So what makes humans different? Maya asked. We're predators, Dr. Kane said. Our ancestors hunted for millions of years. We also lived in dangerous places where quick reactions meant survival. Over time, humans developed faster reflexes than almost any other species we know about. Admiral Morrison leaned forward. The problem is, the Zephyrians see your quick reaction as proof that humans are violent and dangerous. They think you plan to kill their ambassador. But I didn't plan anything, Maya protested. I didn't even know I was going to do it until it was over. That's exactly what we need to prove, Dr. Kane said. We need to show them that human reflexes are automatic, not controlled. Through the small window, Maya could see other ships moving around the space station. Some were leaving quickly, their crews afraid of being caught in a war. Others were arriving, probably carrying news reporters and government officials. Admiral, one of the guards called through the door. Priority. Message from Earth Command. Admiral Morrison stepped outside for a moment. When he came back, his face was grim. Earth wants us to come home immediately. They're mobilizing the fleet. For war, Maya asked. For defense. The Zephyrians have allies too. The Centauri Republic has offered to support them. The Andromedan Collective is sending observers. If this turns into a fight, it won't be just humans against Zephyrians. Maya felt sick. This is all my fault. I should have been more careful. No, Dr. Kane said firmly. You should have been told about Zephyrian customs. We should have prepared you better. There were failures all around, but your reflexes were not one of them, Admiral Morrison's communicator beeped. He answered it and listened for a moment. His face grew pale. What is it? Maya asked. Long-range sensors are picking up Zephyrian ships moving toward the border of human space. A lot of ships. Maya walked to the window. She could see the beautiful blue and silver ships of the Zephyrian fleet in the distance. They looked like works of art, but she knew they carried weapons that could destroy planets. How many ships? She asked. 12 capital ships, plus support vessels? Their entire third fleet. Dr. Kane stood up. We need to get you to safety. If the Zephyrians board this station, they'll take you by force. No, Maya said. I won't run away. Maybe if I surrender myself, they'll listen to reason. Maya, you don't understand, Admiral Morrison said. The Zephyrians don't just want to punish you. They want to study you. They think humans are a dangerous species that needs to be controlled or eliminated. What do you mean? They've been talking to other species about humans. They're saying that any species that can kill by accident is too dangerous to be allowed. In the galaxy, they want to quarantine Earth. Maya sat down heavily. So it's not just about me anymore. No, Admiral Morrison said. It's about all of humanity. Your reflexes have made every human a potential threat in their eyes. Then we need to make them understand, Maya said. We need to show them that humans aren't monsters. Dr. Kane nodded. I've been working on a plan, but it's risky. What kind of plan? Admiral Morrison asked. We need to demonstrate human reflexes in a controlled way. Show them that we can't help our reactions, but we can control when and how. We use them. Maya looked out at the Zephyrian fleet again. Will it work? I don't know, Dr. Kane admitted. But it's better than fighting a war. Admiral Morrison stood up. I'll contact Earth Command. We need permission to try this. As he left the room, Maya continued staring at the alien ships. She thought about the ambassador's surprise when she struck him. He had been trying to show friendship, and she had killed him for it. Now thousands of people might die because of her reflexes, but Dr. Kane was right about one thing. Humans were different from other species. Their quick reactions and fighting instincts had helped them survive on Earth. Maybe those same instincts could help them survive in space too. Maya made a decision. She would not hide from what she had done. She would face the Zephyrians and try to make them understand. If that failed, at least she would have tried to fix her mistake. The first war between humans and aliens was about to begin, and it was all because of 2 seconds of instinct that she could not take back. The Zephyrian fleet arrived at the edge of human space like a storm made of crystal and light. General Crichton stood on the bridge of his flagship, looking at the small blue planet called Earth through the viewing screen. His brother Veltar would never see another world again, killed by the violent creatures that lived on that distant ball of rock and water. Sir, his aide reported, the humans are sending a ship to meet us. Crichton's silver eyes narrowed. Just one ship? Are they surrendering? It appears so, sir. It's a small research vessel called the Endeavor. They're broadcasting surrender codes. Prepare to receive them, Crichton ordered. But keep our weapons ready. Humans are clearly more dangerous than we thought. The human ship was tiny compared to the Zephyrian vessels. It looked like a metal box with engines attached, nothing like the elegant curves of Zephyrian design. As it approached, Crichton felt his anger growing. These ugly creatures had killed his brother, and now they wanted to talk their way out of punishment. On board the Endeavor, Dr. Lisa Patterson checked her equipment one more time. She was a small woman with gray hair and calm eyes. She had spent her life studying alien biology, but she had never been in a situation like this before. Are you sure about this plan? Captain Ryan Hughes asked. He was a former Marine who had volunteered for this mission. His job was to keep everyone safe, but he wasn't sure how to protect them from an entire alien fleet. It's our only chance, Dr. Patterson replied. If we can show them what human reflexes really are, maybe they'll understand. Maya Rodriguez sat quietly in the corner of the ship's small meeting room. She had volunteered to come, even though everyone told her it was dangerous. She felt responsible for the crisis and wanted to help fix it. Remember, Dr. Patterson said, we need to stay calm. One wrong move and they might attack. The Endeavor docked with the Zephyrian flagship. The airlock opened and the humans walked into a corridor that looked like the inside of a crystal cave. Everything glowed with soft light, and the walls seemed to be made of living glass. General Crichton waited for them in a large room with a high ceiling. He was even taller than his brother had been, and his skin was darker blue. His 6 arms moved constantly, showing his agitation. I am General Crichton, he said in a voice like breaking ice. You have come to surrender the murderer? I am Dr. Lisa Patterson, she replied, and this is Captain Hughes. We've come to explain what happened. There is nothing to explain, Crichton said. Your soldier killed my brother in cold blood. We have seen the recording. That's exactly what we want to talk about, Dr. Patterson said. May we show you something? Crichton gestured with 2 of his arms. Speak quickly, my patience is limited. Dr. Patterson activated a small projector. Images appeared in the air, showing human and alien anatomy. General, how long does it take for your people to react to danger? What do you mean? If something unexpected happens, how long before you can respond? Crichton thought for a moment. Perhaps 2 or 3 seconds. We must analyze the situation and choose the best response. For humans, it's different, Dr. Patterson explained. She showed a video of human reflexes in action. Watch this. The projection showed a human catching a falling object without looking at it. Another human jumped away from a snake before his eyes could focus on it. A third human pulled her hand away from a hot stove before she felt the pain. These are reflexes, Dr. Patterson said. They happen faster than thinking. The human body reacts to protect itself before the brain can stop it. Impossible, Crickstall said. No creature acts without thought. Humans do, Captain Hughes said. We evolved on a dangerous world. Quick reflexes kept our ancestors alive. Dr. Patterson showed more videos. Humans dodging thrown objects, mothers lifting heavy cars to save their children, soldiers diving for cover at the sound of gunfire. In every case, the humans moved before they could think. This is what happened to your brother, Dr. Patterson said gently. Maya didn't choose to hurt him. Her body protected itself automatically. You expect me to believe she could not control herself? Crickstall demanded. Let us show you, Dr. Patterson said. She nodded to Maya, who stood up slowly. Maya walked to the center of the room, her hands visible and empty. General, I'm going to demonstrate human reflexes. Please approach me slowly. Crickstall moved toward her with careful steps. All 6 of his arms were visible, and he made no sudden movements. Maya stood perfectly still, relaxed and calm. See, Dr. Patterson said. When she can see what's happening, she has complete control. Now watch this, Captain Hughes said. He quietly picked up a metal tool from a nearby table, without warning. He dropped it behind Maya. The tool hit the floor with a loud clang. Maya spun around instantly, her body dropping into a fighting stance. Her hands came up to block or strike, and her weight shifted to her back foot. The whole movement took less than half a second. I didn't tell her to do that, Captain Hughes said. She couldn't stop herself. Maya straightened up, breathing hard. I knew it was coming, but I still reacted. I can't help it. Crickstall stared at her. You moved before you could see the threat. That's the point, Dr. Patterson said. Human reflexes are faster than thought. When your brother touched Maya's shoulder unexpectedly, her body thought she was being attacked. She couldn't stop the reaction. But she is trained to kill, Crickstall said. That makes her dangerous. All humans are trained to survive, Captain Hughes replied. But look at what just happened. Maya's reflexes activated, but she didn't hurt anyone. She can control her actions when she's aware of what's happening, Dr. Patterson showed another video. This is why humans developed these reflexes. Our world had predators that could kill us in seconds. The humans who reacted fastest survived to have children. Over millions of years, we became very good at automatic responses. Your brother's death was tragic, Maya said, her voice shaking. But it was an accident. I would never hurt someone on purpose. Crickstall walked around the humans, studying them with his silver eyes. If this is true, then humans are even more dangerous than we thought. You can kill without meaning to. Or, we can protect without meaning to, Captain Hughes said. These same reflexes that killed your brother could save lives. What do you mean? Before anyone could answer, alarms began sounding throughout the ship. A Zephyrian officer ran into the room, his skin flashing with urgent colors. General, we have a problem. Void Stalker ships are approaching our position. 3 heavy cruisers. Crickstall's face went pale. The Void Stalkers were the most dangerous species in the galaxy. They attacked anyone they met, taking prisoners as slaves and destroying everything else. How long until they arrive? Crickstall asked. 20 minutes, sir. Captain Hughes stepped forward. General, let us help you fight them. Why would you help? U.S.? Crickstall demanded. We came here to arrest your people. Because it's the right thing to do, Maya said. And because this is what humans are really good at. Not killing by accident, but protecting people on purpose. Dr. Patterson nodded. You evolved to explore and create beautiful things. We evolved to fight and survive. Right now, you need fighters. Crickstall looked at the humans for a long moment. His brother was dead, killed by human reflexes. But those same reflexes might be the only thing that could save his crew from the Void Stalkers. What do you propose? He asked finally. Let us show you what human reflexes can really do, Captain Hughes said. Not by accident, but by choice. The alarms continued to sound as the enemy ships drew closer. Crickstall had to make a decision that would change everything. General Crickstall made his decision in seconds. Very well. Show me what humans can do when they choose to fight. Captain Hughes nodded to Dr. Patterson. Get back to our ship. Maya, you're with me. I'm staying here, Maya said firmly. If we're going to work together, I need to help the Zephyrian crew understand how humans fight. The Void Stalker ships appeared on the viewing screen like black daggers cutting through space. They were ugly vessels, covered in spikes and weapons. Unlike the beautiful Zephyrian ships or the simple human designs, these ships were built only for war and destruction. They've been raiding our outer colonies for months, Crixtel explained as they hurried to the bridge. Our weapons are powerful, but our crews don't think like warriors. We always lose too many people. Maya looked around the bridge. The Zephyrian crew moved gracefully, but slowly. When alarms sounded, they took time to discuss what to do. It was clear they had never learned to react quickly to danger. How do you usually fight them? Maya asked. We form battle lines and exchange fire at long range, Crixtel replied. Our crystal weapons are more advanced than theirs. That won't work this time, Captain Hughes said, studying the enemy ships. They're moving too fast. They want to get close and board your ships? Board us? A Zephyrian officer looked terrified. But that would mean hand-to-hand fighting, exactly, Maya said. And that's where humans are different. We're good at close combat. The first Void Stalker ship opened fire. Red energy beams cut across space, striking the shields of a Zephyrian cruiser. The elegant ship shook under the impact. Return fire, Crixtel ordered. Blue crystal beams shot back at the enemy. They were more powerful than the Void Stalker weapons, but the enemy ships were fast and hard to hit. They're trying to surround us, Captain Hughes observed. Classic pack-hunting behavior. Maya watched the tactical display. General, can you break formation? Scatter your ships? That would leave us vulnerable, a Zephyrian tactical officer protested. No, it would confuse them, Maya explained. Void Stalkers expect you to stay together. If you spread out, they won't know which ship to attack first. Crixtel hesitated. Everything Maya suggested went against Zephyrian military doctrine, but his current tactics weren't working. Do it, he ordered. All ships break formation and spread out. The Zephyrian fleet scattered across space. The Void Stalkers, expecting a traditional battle line, suddenly didn't know where to focus their attack. Now hit them while they're confused, Captain Hughes said. Crystal beams lanced out from 6 directions at once. 2 Void Stalker ships took heavy damage, their dark hulls glowing with heat, but the enemy adapted quickly. The largest Void Stalker ship changed course and headed straight for the Zephyrian flagship. They're going to ram us, an officer cried. No, Maya said, watching the enemy ships approach. They're going to dock with us. Look at their hull. Those aren't just weapons. Those are boarding tubes. General Crixtel's skin turned pale blue. Prepare for boarders, all security teams to defensive positions. Maya turned to him. General, your security teams won't be enough. Void Stalkers are natural fighters. They live for combat. Your people are scientists and explorers. Then what do you suggest? Let me help train your crew. I can teach them how to fight up close. We don't have time for training, Crixtel protested. We don't need much time, Maya said. Humans learn fast when they have to. The Void Stalker ship attached itself to the flagship with a grinding sound of metal on crystal. Immediately, cutting. Tools began burning through the hull. Maya grabbed a Zephyrian security officer. What's your name? Zixalan, the alien replied nervously. Zixalan, when the boarders come through, don't think, just react. If something moves toward you quickly, hit it as hard as you can. But what if I make a mistake? Better to make a mistake. Fighting than to die thinking, Maya said. The hull breach alarm sounded. Void Stalkers poured through the opening like black water. They were shorter than Zephyrians, but heavily muscled, with thick armor and sharp claws. They moved fast and attacked without hesitation. The first group of Zephyrian security officers tried to fight them in an organized line. The Void Stalkers scattered them in seconds, their claws tearing through crystal armor. Maya ran toward the fighting. Follow me, she called to the remaining Zephyrians. Don't stand in lines, move and strike. She demonstrated by dodging a Voidstalker's charge and hitting it in the side of the head. The creature stumbled, giving a Zephyrian officer time to shoot it with an energy weapon. See? Maya shouted over the noise of battle. Use your size and reach. They're fast, but you're taller. Zixalan tried to copy her movements. When a Voidstalker attacked him, he stepped aside and used 2 of his arms to grab it while hitting with a third. The technique worked. More Zephyrians began following Maya's example. Instead of standing still and trading blows, they moved constantly. They used their 6 arms to grab, hit, and hold weapons at the same time. Captain Hughes appeared at the other end of the corridor with a group of human crew members from the Endeavor. Maya, we're here to help. The humans moved through the battle like dancers, their reflexes allowing them to dodge attacks and strike back instantly. But more importantly, they called out instructions to the Zephyrians. Duck left, Zixalan. Use your lower arms to block. Hit them in the joints where their armor is weak. Gradually, the tide of battle turned. The Voidstalkers had expected to face slow, peaceful scientists. Instead, they found Zephyrians who fought like humans had taught them, using speed and multiple attacks. General Crickstall watched from the bridge as his security teams drove the boarders back to their ship. How are they doing this? He asked Dr. Patterson, who had returned to help coordinate the defense. They're learning, she replied. Zephyrians are very intelligent. Once Maya showed them how to fight like humans, they adapted quickly. But they're still peaceful people. How can they fight so well? Because they're fighting to protect their friends, Dr. Patterson said. Humans fight best when we're protecting something we care about. It seems Zephyrians are the same way. The last of the Voidstalkers retreated to their ship, which detached and tried to escape. But the other Zephyrian ships, following Captain Hughes' tactical advice, were waiting. Crystal beams destroyed 2 of the enemy vessels. The third limped away into deep space. On the flagship, Maya helped treat wounded Zephyrians while Captain Hughes worked with their tactical officers to plan defenses against future attacks. General Crickstall found Maya in the medical bay. Lieutenant Rodriguez, he said formally. She looked up from bandaging a Zephyrian officer's arm. Yes, General? I understand now, he said quietly. Your reflexes killed my brother by accident. But those same reflexes saved many lives today on purpose. Maya nodded. I'm still sorry about Ambassador Veltar. But maybe his death doesn't have to be meaningless. Maybe it can teach both our species something important. What do you mean? That we're stronger together than apart, she said. You create beautiful things and explore the galaxy. We protect and fight when necessary. Both are needed. Crickstall looked around the medical bay, where humans and Zephyrians work side by side to help the wounded. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps my brother would have wanted his death to bring our peoples together, not drive them apart. For the first time since the crisis began, Maya felt hope. The war that had started with her reflexes might end with understanding. 3 months after the battle with the Voidstalkers, Maya Rodriguez stood on the observation deck of the new space station called Harmony. Through the large windows, she could see ships from dozens of different species docking and leaving. Human vessels worked alongside Zephyrian crystal ships, and even some Centauri Republic cruisers had come to visit. The galaxy had changed since that terrible day when she accidentally killed Ambassador Veltar. What started as a potential war had become something much better. The Zephyrian Empire and humanity had signed a formal alliance, and other peaceful species were asking to join. Hard to believe how different things are now, Captain Hughes said, as he walked up beside her. He wore a new uniform that combined human and Zephyrian designs. As the first director of the Joint Defense Academy, he spent his time teaching alien crews how to fight and learning their advanced technologies. Sometimes I still have nightmares about it, Maya admitted. I see Ambassador Veltar falling and I wake up wishing I could change what happened. But look what came from it, Hughes said, gesturing at the busy space station. Humans and Zephyrians working together. Other species joining us. The Voidstalkers haven't attacked anyone in 2 months because they know we'll all fight back. Together, Maya nodded. It was true. The Alliance had made the galaxy safer for everyone. Human tactical knowledge combined with Zephyrian technology had created new ways to protect peaceful worlds. Even the warlike species were being more careful now. A group of young beings ran past the window outside, playing in the station's zero-gravity recreation area. Maya could see human children floating alongside young Zephyrians, their game involving both quick human reflexes and the graceful Zephyrian ability to move with 6 arms. The children adapt so quickly, Maya observed. They don't see the differences the way adults do. Speaking of children, Hughes said, have you decided about the teaching position? Maya had been offered a job at the new academy, teaching young humans and aliens how to work together in dangerous situations. It would mean staying on Harmony permanently, far from Earth and her old life. I'm still thinking about it, she said. Sometimes I wonder if I'm the right person to teach anyone anything. I'm the one who started this whole crisis. You're exactly the right person, a musical voice said behind them. They turned to see General Crickstal approaching. He moved more like humans now, with quicker steps and more direct movements. Working with human advisors had changed him too. General, Maya said, still feeling uncomfortable around him. Despite their alliance, she knew he still grieved for his brother. I have news, Crickstal said. The Andromedan Collective has officially requested to join our alliance. They were impressed by how we handled the Void Stalker attacks. That's wonderful, Hughes said. With their manufacturing abilities and our combined military strength, we'll be able to help even more species. Crickstal nodded, then looked directly at Maya. They specifically asked for you to be part of the negotiation team. They want to meet the human whose reflexes change the galaxy. Maya felt her stomach tighten. I'm not sure that's a good idea. What if I make another mistake? Then you will learn from it, as we all have, Crickstal said gently. Maya, do you know what my brother would think of what has happened? She shook her head. He would be proud, Crickstal continued. Veltar spent his life trying to bring different species together. His death, tragic as it was, has accomplished more than he ever could have imagined. But I killed him, Maya said quietly. Yes, you did. And I will always mourn him. But you killed him by accident while trying to protect yourself. Then you risked your life to save Zephyrian crew members from the Void Stalkers. You have shown that human reflexes can destroy or protect, depending on the situation. Maya looked out at the busy space station again. I just want to make sure it never happens again. It will happen again, Crickstal said, surprising her. Humans will always have reflexes. Accidents will always be possible. But now we understand what those reflexes are and how to work with them instead of fearing them. Dr. Patterson appeared in the doorway of the observation deck. Maya, you have visitors. A group of young Zephyrian cadets entered, led by Zixalan, who now served as an instructor at the academy. The cadets had asked to meet Maya personally to thank her for teaching their people how to fight. Lieutenant Rodriguez, the youngest cadet, said in careful English, we wanted to ask you something. What is it? Maya replied. Will you teach us the move that you used on the ambassador? We want to learn human fighting techniques. Maya felt her blood go cold. Why would you want to learn that? Because it saved our lives against the Void Stalkers, another cadet explained. Zixalan taught us what you showed him, but we want to learn more. Maya looked at the eager young faces. They weren't afraid of her or her reflexes. They saw her skills as tools that could protect people. I'll make you a deal, she said finally. I'll teach you how to fight like humans, but only if you promise to also teach me how to think like Zephyrians. I want to learn how to pause and consider before I act. That is a fair trade, Zixalan said. Humans learn to think more carefully, and Zephyrians learn to react more quickly. After the cadets left, Maya turned to General Crickstal. I've made my decision about the teaching position. I'll take it. What changed your mind? Hughes asked. Those cadets, Maya said. They're not afraid of what I can do. They want to learn from it. Maybe that's how we move forward. Not by hiding from our nature, but by learning to use it wisely. Crickstal smiled, an expression that looked strange on his crystalline features but somehow felt right. My brother would have liked that. Answer. Later that evening, Maya walked through the residential section of Harmony. Human families lived next to Zephyrian households, and the corridor was filled with the sounds of different languages and laughter. She passed a park where children of both species played together, inventing games that used everyone's unique abilities. In her quarters, Maya recorded a message to send back to Earth. This is Lieutenant Maya Rodriguez reporting from Harmony Station. 3 months ago, I made a terrible mistake that could have started a war. Instead, it started something better. We learned that our differences don't have to divide us. They can make us stronger. She paused, thinking about Ambassador Veltar and how his death had led to so much cooperation. Human reflexes will always be fast and sometimes dangerous, but we've learned to control when and how we use them. More importantly, we've learned that other species can help us be better than we are alone. Maya looked out her window at the stars. Somewhere out there, void stalkers and other dangerous species still threatened peaceful worlds. But now those worlds had protectors. Humans who could fight and aliens who could think and build. Together, they were creating something new in the galaxy. The universe is big and dangerous, Maya continued her recording, but it's also full of possibilities. We just have to be brave enough to reach for them, even when our reflexes tell us to be afraid. She ended the recording and prepared for sleep. Tomorrow would bring new challenges and new opportunities to prove that the alliance could work. Maya was ready for both.